Welcome, everyone, to our first Stakeholders Update of 2024. I'm Mary Wheatley, and it's my pleasure to serve as the CEO of the National Scleroderma Foundation. I'm so excited that you all could join us today. I'm going to walk us through our newly approved strategic framework for 2024 and beyond. So really excited that you guys are here to be able to share this latest development with you all and kind of where we're headed in the new year and beyond. As the leading patient advocacy organization that serves people with scleroderma in the US, the foundation is really positioned to play an important role in addressing the challenges of the future. And the new strategic framework that we've put together really enables us to focus our efforts towards maximizing the impact that we can have. The issues that are facing people living with scleroderma are complex, and we recognize the need to really have a flexible framework that's meant to serve the organization in an ever-changing world, to really give us that flexibility in scope and scale while still providing a really clear vision of where we want to go and where we need to be in order to best serve the scleroderma community in the US. I'm really proud of the new framework that our leadership has co-created, and I think that by working together, we can really ensure that the foundation realizes its vision of being a relentless force for those living with scleroderma. So excited to share this with you all today. And just walk you through a little bit of how we came up with this framework. So the methodology really allowed for us to get input from everyone in the organization. So we started with our innermost circle, our board of directors, and really got their input through a series of strategic discussions, really kicking off last winter and spring in 2023, and then started to broaden the circle out into our advisory boards for medical and scientific, as well as our patient advisory board. Once we had an idea of kind of what the key themes were, where leadership was headed for the framework, we opened it up to everyone within the community. So you all had an opportunity to provide us feedback. We really looked at a pretty broad scope of things, but also shared some of the data in terms of key themes that we had identified in order to get your feedback. So we had just under 200 respondents come in and provide feedback for that open survey. So thank you to those of you who participated in that. And then we took a deeper dive, and I'll share with you kind of how we define our 6 stakeholder groups, which was a big part of this process. But we did deeper interviews, qualitative interviews with a variety of individuals within each of those stakeholder groups to really help us further refine the framework. And we shared that data at our leadership retreat in the fall, which includes all of our chapter volunteers, all of our national volunteers all across the country. And so we were able to really pull them in, including some new chapter volunteers, as well as our executive directors for our 13 chapters across the country. So I mentioned part of the process was really defining who our stakeholders are. And you all have been a huge part of that as you come to these calls and hear the updates and share with us what's important to you through our surveys and different feedback mechanisms. But what we really landed on were these 6 stakeholder groups, starting in the innermost. Obviously, we exist to serve people living with scleroderma, whether they're patients, caregivers, families, and friends of those living with. That is the whole reason we're here as a foundation. All of our programs are really designed to serve that community. If we broaden out a little bit, obviously our patrons, those who are really committed to the cause, our volunteer leadership, our staff team, and then of course our providers, the people who are seeing people living with, who are diagnosing this disease and providing treatment and management plans along the way. Then we get into our pursuers. So who's looking at the next generation of treatments, future cures for the disease, really relying on the expertise of our academic investigators and our partners in pharma and biotech research and development. And then broadening it even further, looking at who are our partners, who do we work with to help achieve our mission? Everyone from other patient advocacy groups to federal agencies such as the National Institutes of Health, Food and Drug Administration, or CMS, among others. And of course, our manufacturers who make the treatments that our community needs as well, or have been a tremendous support to our mission. And then philanthropists, the individuals, the corporations and the foundations who are really supporting our mission and allowing us to do the work that we do. Every dollar we spend is a dollar we raised. We don't have a magic pot of money somewhere. This is really important and critical to the work that we do, that we're able to engage people across all of these stakeholder groups to support the work of the foundation. So working through that methodology, really getting input and buy-in from all these different stakeholder groups, we landed at a really clear vision for the future that encompasses 6 pillars. And some of these you've seen before, and some of these are really kind of new statements for the foundation to really say this is where we want to be and who we want to be. So I'll walk through each of these in more detail. But the first is a common theme over the past several years. We really want to increase our collaboration across stakeholder groups, across organizations, and across and within our community. We want to facilitate clear and open communications. I mentioned scleroderma obviously is a complex disease, or the issues that our community face are incredibly complex. We have worked very hard to make sure that the information we share is clear and concise, but we can always do a better job of that. And so we want to facilitate those clear communications, but we also want an open dialogue with our community. And so we've taken some strides in the last few years to really do that, and want to build on that even further in this roadmap. We want to build on our reputation as a trusted source for information related to scleroderma. Again, an incredibly complex disease state. We work with the professionals who know this disease better than anyone else to really make sure that we have well-vetted, credible information that we're sharing with you all, and that we want to build on that reputation that we've really created, so that when you come to us, you're getting the best, most trustworthy information, because there's a lot of information out there, right? So where are you going to go to get yours? And then, of course, creating a diverse and unified community has been a critical theme for us for the last few years, and really putting a line in the sand to say, we have strategies around this. We have to do this. This is really important to us and our organizational culture. It's not just about bringing everyone together. It's about recognizing how special it is when we can really create this diverse community and respect that everyone has something different to bring to the table, and really value those different perspectives and ideas and opinions as well. And then embody innovation is a relatively new theme for us that we were really excited to see come to the forefront. And there's a lot of things that we talked about within this with all of our different stakeholder groups. This is everything from really fostering a culture of innovation within the foundation, whether it's the investigators that we're funding or our staff team, making sure that our team understands that it's okay to, fall on our face sometimes and try something new. Or our volunteer leadership, our chapters, really trying out new things and implementing new technologies. So really excited to see that one come to the forefront. And I know you all have heard me talk about building a culture of philanthropy, but again, really excited to see this one come to the front as well. As I mentioned, this is really the foundation of all we do. We have to have a really strong culture of philanthropy in order to support the incredible mission critical programming that we provide. So I'm just going to walk through these in a little bit more detail to give you an idea of what our stakeholder groups and leadership really kind of had in mind as they thought about each of these goal areas. So goal A, again, was increasing collaboration. So the first piece here is really continuing to increase awareness of scleroderma across all of our stakeholder groups. We really feel like that's the first place to start. We want the general public to have a greater awareness, but if we start with those 6 stakeholder groups, it can balloon out from there. So really excited about that. And you can see 2 key partnerships pictured here, one with one of our supporters who works for the NFL, and another with our celebrity ambassador, Ashley Barron. So really making great headway there, and we'll continue to leverage our network to do that. And then there's lots of big new things that we haven't even thought of that I think will fit really well there as well. And we'll certainly rely on you all to help facilitate those connections as well. We'll also, of course, want to foster an environment that encourages partnerships across all these stakeholder groups. So we want it to be, really encouraging and attractive to partner with the National Scleroderma Foundation. And part of that is forging these alliances across the different stakeholder groups that I described, but also cultivating synergies and recognizing, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, and what are other organizations doing that we can sign on to or support or work together on. And that kind of speaks to the next strategy, which is pulling our expertise and resources to really drive that groundbreaking research and care in scleroderma, and really make sure that we are at the forefront of pushing those advancements in scleroderma research and treatment. So the next goal area was facilitating clear and open communications. We really want to see transparent, effective communication and foster trust and unity across the stakeholder groups, across the organization, across the community. Part of this is facilitating clear, accessible, open channels of communications. And our commitment to this spans interactions within our community, with the community we serve, and then, of course, among our diverse stakeholder groups. We want to build strong, enduring relationships built on trust and understanding. And we feel like by really employing transparent practices and encouraging open dialogue that we can get there. I mentioned, we are really proud of the reputation we've built as a trusted source in this day where we find ourselves really kind of inundated with information from every direction. We want to be that beacon of trust and credibility for you. We are dedicated to accuracy, reliability, integrity in all of the information that we disseminate. And I think that really underscores our commitment to becoming a trusted source for scleroderma-related resources, whether it's guidance, support, whatever you may need related to scleroderma, knowing that we are the go-to authority and we're empowering you with this credible information that's been vetted by medical and scientific and people living with that will help you make informed decisions. So really excited about this one. And again, maintaining our dedication to that as well. Goal D is creating a diverse and unified community. And of course, the vision there is really, it encompasses our entire community. It celebrates the diversity that lies within that and embraces this theme of unity that we've really worked hard to achieve over the past several years of bringing everyone in under one organization. We are working to create an inclusive environment that really values and respects the unique experiences, backgrounds, perspectives of everyone who's affected by this disease. And we really hope to foster a sense of belonging and solidarity so that you feel like you belong, that you're a member, that you're a part of something bigger than you. And all of this, of course, is to unite our community in this collective journey, certainly towards support, but also we have an incredibly resilient community. And so how can we harness that and really create this diverse, unified community? And then goal E is, again, kind of a new one for us, but innovation, we felt like really propels progress, and we are all about, progressing the research, progressing the care, and committed to embracing innovation across all facets of what we do, whether it's research methodologies in the research that we're funding or the partnerships that we're involved in, or treatment approaches, or our outreach strategies to our community, or our advocacy efforts. There's a lot of innovation that we can do there, and thinking through our strategy and approach. But really, it's about fostering that culture, right, that allows for that encourages that, making sure that members of our community are empowered to be creative, to experiment, to try new things. And of course, making way for cutting edge technologies. There's so much available to us now, more than ever before, whether it's artificial intelligence, machine learning or just, project management tools that can really help drive forward a lot of the work that we're doing. And so as we begin to harness some of these and understand their capabilities, we're really excited that we'll be able to drive transformative change in our fight against scleroderma. And finally, goal F. Of course, we couldn't do any of this without the bedrock of our mission, really creating this culture of philanthropy within the scleroderma community. And the reason this is so important, again, is that this helps us ensure that our initiatives can be sustainable, that we have resources to deliver our mission. And so we're really hoping to cultivate this culture. People are so excited to give and have been so generous to the foundation. We want to continue that and bring more people into the tent. um, Really inspire, whether it's individuals, whether it's companies, whether it's philanthropic organizations, really get them inspired about the mission so that they feel really good about supporting our cause. And all of this, of course, helps us expand our reach, increase awareness, really amplify our impact as well of the work that we're doing. So really excited to put this one out front and center. I think it's been a little kind of behind the scenes in the past. But again, really important to allow us to continue to advance our mission and do that really important work toward research support and advocacy. So you'll see more about the framework in the days and weeks ahead. But one of the most important things that we'll be really transparent with you about is our progress toward these different goals and strategies. And just wanted to give you a little snapshot of that today, of how we're looking at that. So this is brand new. The board just approved it in December. And so we're already working on about 80% of the initiatives within the framework, which is really exciting. And certainly new ones will come online as we move forward through the framework. But really encouraged to see this really take off internally, and for the team to get really excited and rally around it, as well as our volunteer leadership. And on future stakeholder calls, as we begin to finalize how we're measuring our success in terms of our metrics, we'll of course be reporting back to you. How are we doing on our baseline against our current on a year over year basis, so that we can see the progression of the framework over time. So in each of these pillar areas. So just gave you a quick snapshot here. We're not done with the metrics, but when we are, we'll be able to dig into those in much more detail. But wanted to go ahead and give you an idea of what that will look like and how we'll be able to report back to you on that, so you can continue to follow our progress here. And we would love for you to get involved as well. So I'll share a little bit about what that could look like. But really just want to share that this new strategic framework is meant to be a roadmap on how to succeed in our current environment and really thrive in the coming years. So it's not meant to be just for 1 year or 3 years or 5 years. It's really, again, flexible. It's intended to be this living document that's responsive to the needs of our community, what they are today as they emerge, and again, helping us to anticipate the shifts in the environment. Rather than thinking of this as an end point, we're really thinking of it as a first step in a process that will help us remain effective in our service of you all, and to be a sustainable voice for people living with scleroderma, their families, and support networks, as well as the medical and scientific communities that care for you. So we really approach that planning process with the knowledge that the framework had to be co-created by our leadership, volunteers, members, donors, staff, and then input from all of you. And so we were really intentional in seeking that input, and hope that you are inspired by what you've seen today. The other thing that I'll share is, we'd love for you to get involved in leadership, get involved in grassroots advocacy, get involved with your chapter. And you can do that, of course, by visiting our website at scleroderma.org. And you can always check the status of our framework at this scleroderma.org/mission vision values. It links from the very bottom, the footer of every page as well. And we're just getting started. This is the implementation process just kicking off, and we'll continuously share updates with you and be continuously seeking input and feedback from you as well. But we'd love for you to get involved. And if any particular area of this really resonated with you, you can always shoot us an email. My email here is ceo@scleroderma.org, or you can always email us at info@scleroderma.org as well. So